Lesson 72, Roots. Hello and welcome to this lesson. Today, we are going to talk about roots, the Latin word parts that form the basis of many English words. Understanding these roots will help you recognize and understand a wide range of formal and academic vocabulary. So, let us get started. Verbs based on Latin words. Many words in English are formed from Latin roots. These words are often considered fairly formal. Here are some of the more common Latin roots, with some of the English verbs derived from them. Conduct, lead. Conduct. He conducted the orchestra with great vigor, which means he led it. Induce. Nothing would induce me to join their organization, which means persuade or lead. Viaduct. The railway goes over a high viaduct, which is a high bridge across a river or valley. Pose, place, put. Postpone. The meeting has been postponed until next week, which means put off to a later date. Depose. The president was deposed by his own son, which means put out of office. Impose. The government have imposed a sizable tax increase, which means put into force. Compose. Beethoven composed some beautiful pieces of music, which means created or put together. Deposit. She deposited some money in her bank account, which means placed or put in. Port. Carry, take. Transport. How are you going to transport your things to the States? Which means send across. Import and export. Britain imports cotton and exports wool. Imports means buys in, and exports means sells out. Support. Our opinions are supported by a considerable amount of research, which means held up or backed. Deport. Foreigners who commit crimes are usually deported, which means taken or sent away to another country. Press, push. Impressed. She was impressed by his presentation, which means filled with admiration and respect. Depresses. This weather depresses me, which means fills me with miserable feelings. Expresses. She always expresses herself very articulately, which means puts her thoughts into words. Spect, see, look. Respect. You should respect your parents or the laws of a country, which means look up to. Inspect. The police officer inspected the mysterious package, which means looked into or examined. Prospect. Many pioneers traveled west in America to prospect for gold, which means look for or search. Vert, turn. Revert. I tried the new make of coffee, but I soon reverted to my old favorite brand, which means went back. Convert. Can you convert this document to a PDF? Which means change from one form to another. Divert. The police diverted the traffic because there was a demonstration, which means sent it a different way. Nouns based on Latin words. The examples above are of verbs only. However, for all the verbs listed, there is usually at least one noun, sometimes a different one for a person and for an idea. For example, from the verb inspect, we have the person noun inspector and the abstract noun inspection. From advertise, we have advertiser and advertisement. From deport, we have deportee and deportation. From introduce, we have introducer and introduction. From oppress, we have oppressor and oppression. And from compose, we have composer and composition. So, that is our lesson on roots. Understanding these Latin roots and the patterns of word formation will help you recognize and understand a wide range of formal English vocabulary, especially in academic and professional contexts.